Americans Migrate to the Cities by Tyler, Bailey, Aubrey, Kayla, and Kylie. The U.S. grew from around 10 million in the 1870s to more than 30 million in the 1900s. As the population grew, buildings needed to grow up instead of out. Buildings called skyscrapers were created growing up. The first subway systems were built so that people can get around a little easier.
Technology and History by Eliza Madeline, Espen, Trevor, and Dante. Skyscrapers. After the mid-1800s, it became easier to build taller buildings because steel companies began mass-producing steel. Invented by Elisha Otis, elevators were made in the 1800s. They were installed in tall buildings, making them more practical. Steel cable was also invented and changed the way bridges were built.
Separation by Class by James, Katie, Josh, and Amanda. There were 3 different classes in society. The wealthiest was called high society. They lived in the heart of the city and lived to entertain. The next class is the middle class. They moved away from the central city to afford bigger homes and usually had one servant in the house. And the last one.
Separated class by Working and Family Economy by Robbie, Alexis, Stephen, and Kelsey. They were very poor, the working class was very poor, $1 a day, child labor, and most of the time, or in certain circumstances, and I don't know what that is. It's
Tenements?
Tenements. I don't know what that means. Tenements. You can continue to the next one if you want to. And then there was a family class. So they had some dynamic servants, lack of education, hard workers, no companionship. I don't know what that
Compensation.
means. Compensation. And yeah, hard workers.
Okay.
I said that. Okay.
Crime and Pollution by Michael, Carter, Rhett, and Alex. Crime and murder was a growing problem in America during 1880 and 1900. Murder jumped from 25 per million people to more than 100 per million people. Alcohol was thought to be a leading contributor to the crime. Disease and pollution posed even bigger threats. Improper sewage disposal contaminated city drinking water, triggering epidemics of typhoid fever and other diseases. Pollution in the air from chimneys was also a large problem.
Alright, Political Machine by Braden, can't read that name. Jacob, Alex, and Enrique? Okay. Political machines were informal political groups designed to gain and keep power. They came about because cities were growing faster than their governments. Many of these groups were greedy and corrupt. They gained money through dishonest means like fraud and graft. They thought that what they were doing was okay because it was honest graft and it didn't break the law.
Italians and Immigration to America, Aubrey, Glade, Olivia, and Paul. Italians immigrated between 1880 and 1920. They were often illiterate and lived in extreme poverty.
The Italians immigrated to Lower Manhattan, to Little Italy. In 1910, as many as 40,000 people lived in a 17-block area.